Is it not written in your law that ye are gods? You understand what I'm saying? So it just depends on what level you own based on, whether you're human or whether you're immortal.
At ease, it's your boy Soul Immortal. So I was talking to a young brother earlier this morning, guys, and we were talking about how over the last year and a half, 2 years, since this brother has been, been searching for enlightenment or just higher levels of understanding, he was talking about how his interaction with women had changed, right? The woman that he had planned on getting married to, that he was with for 2 or 3 years, that relationship fell apart. And now he's saying that the women he's coming in contact with, he's saying that the interaction is a little bit different than what he expected, right? So today, brothers, I want to talk about women and the challenges of enlightened men. Let's talk about it. So brothers, we're always talking about the 95% woman, right? And when we do, we're usually referring to the schemers, the cheaters, and the gold diggers of that community. But once a man starts to, seek higher levels of understanding or seek enlightenment, he's going to find that this woman is not even going to be a challenge anymore. Matter of fact, any man that can go watch, a few hours of red pill content could easily, figure out, these women's game, right? But the woman you're going to have to, worry about is the soul digger, right? Now this woman, this is going to be the type woman, man, she's not going to want anything from you. She's not going to want any bags. She's not going to want any trips. She's not going to want any fancy dinners on a regular basis. But because this woman is operating on a completely different level, right? See, what this woman wants is, the God nectar that's running through your veins, right? What this woman is thinking is long term. See, this is the type woman, when you can look on down the road, these are the type women that their goal is to live off of heavy life insurance policies or to divorce a man and take all he has. And before they get to that stage, what their objective is to drain a man of his life, right? See, we always think that when women are going for the big ballers with the cars and the homes and the whatever, that they're going after these trinkets of life, but they're not. What they're doing is that they're seeing these shiny things of gold. They're seeing these fancy cars. And what women are really going after is the source that created the ability for that man to get that. You know what I'm saying? Whether they are consciously aware of it or not, that's what they're going after. Again, these are the bottom feeders. The women that are aware of what they want, they're going after a man's blood, guys. So this is one of the main things that men of enlightenment need to be aware of. Now, how can you tell if you have one of these cunning women, right? I tell brothers this all the time. A man that's on this path, a man that's rolling solo, whether he's on an incline, whether he's rolling flat, when a woman comes into a man's life, his life is going to do one or two things. It's going to do this, it's going to do this. But it'll never remain the same, guys. So to understand if you have a woman that's sucking the life out of you, to understand if you have a soul digger or if you have a real woman, guys, all you have to do is look at the fruits of your labor. Look at the results of your life. Are you increasing or are you declining? And that's going to let you know what you have, brothers. So the second thing, brothers, I'll be honest, this is something that is new to me that I recently discovered, within myself, right? So I was on a podcast with a brother a few days ago, and he was asking me different questions about, my past relationships, specifically about my marriage that, back when I was in my early 20s, right? And we were talking about, certain elements of relationships. But then the brother asked me, he said, well, why did y'all get divorced? Now, initially I was like, that's a wild question, but it made me think about it. And I was telling the brother, I said, me and my ex-wife, I said, we're cool now, we're co-parenting a child and that whole nine. I said, brother, the reason we got divorced is simply because we grew apart. You know, I said I got married at 21 years old, and I said by the time I'm 31, I'm a completely different person. I said so really it's just because we grew apart. And I told him, I said around 23 years old, around 24 years old is when I started separating myself from organized religion in the ways that the world thinks, right? I said, and it caused a ripple in my relationship. So, you know, we started going separate ways. But then I started thinking, right? I said, well, the man that I was at 21 and 31 are obviously different. I said, but at the same time, the man that I was at 31 and 41 is completely different. And then looking forward, I said, the man that I was at 41 and the man that I plan on being at 51 is going to be night and day. So what I came up with, I said, you know what? The enlightened man is always going to be fighting that battle. Brothers, if you're going to be a man that's on a consistent trajectory, you know, to know more, to be more, and to do more in your life, and choose to be a man that entertains relationships, then guys, it is imperative that you understand the difference between vibing with a woman and becoming one with the woman. Now, the Bible says something about like this, and I don't want to butcher it up, but it talks about a man and a woman becoming one flesh. But guys, that is crucial for a guy that's always seeking enlightenment, right? See, the average man that comes out the womb, he's going to go through school and become his own man, and around 21, 23, 20, whatever, he's going to flatten out. And the man that he is at 22 years old, he's going to be the exact same man at 102 years old, right? So if he finds a woman in a young age and they're vibing, then he has a better chance of maintaining that whole thing over the next 100 years, right? But for the guy that's 20, that's on an upward climb, the things that he's attracted to, the thing that he's interested in, everything about this man is gonna always be changing. So when you meet a woman and you're vibing, you need to understand that you're just vibing. If this woman isn't trying to attach herself to you, if this woman isn't trying to become one with you, guys, it behooves you to rethink that whole situation. But because if you're going to be entertaining a situation, guys, and a woman is just vibing, then in a very short amount of time, you're going to be somebody else. That woman is going to be to the wayside. So for you to get yourself in a committed or a long-term or a marriage situation with a woman like that, it's a recipe for disaster, guys. This woman must be attached to you. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you just up and say, you know what, I want to change my religion. If you say, you know what, I want to up and just move and live on a farm in Connecticut, or I want to move to South Africa and live off the land, or I want to do this. This woman needs to be like, you know what, you're in charge. You're the quarterback. Whatever you say, I'm on board. Let's go. I'm telling you, brothers, if you're a man of enlightenment and your woman that you're committing to isn't on that game plan, brother, you're setting yourself up for failure. So the second thing, guys, is understand the difference between you vibrating with a woman and becoming one with a woman. Now, brothers, this last thing is cut and dry. It's simple, right? For the man that's on the path of continued enlightenment, right? His greatest two assets are going to be his time and his peace. You know what I'm saying? These are his watchwords, in other words, guys. You know, a man that's on his path to enlightenment is always going to be spending time alone. A man that's on his purpose is always going to be needing some time in solitude. Guys, and when it comes to women, brothers, you're talking about a very small percentage of women that are able to maintain that. You know, one, you're going to get women that you know, call themselves deprived and have to step out from that. And if that's how they move, that's how they move. Understand that all women aren't built for that, guys. So when it comes to a woman in your life, make sure she understands that, hey, you know what? I like hitting the club and VIPing it up every once in a while. You know, I like hitting the fancy restaurants. I like Netflix and chilling. But you know, you have to understand that the far majority of my time is going toward further enlightenment. The majority of my time is going toward my craft. What does that mean? That means that maybe to the wee hours in the morning, if I'm into music, I'm in the studio. You know, in the wee hours in the morning, if I'm a guitarist, I may be in the back room on them strings all night long, you know? If I'm into, obtaining just raw knowledge about something, I might spend, 20 plus hours in a day, reading books or watching documentaries. I'm telling you, brothers, all women aren't built for men on that level, and it's crucial that you understand that. You know, we need to stop trying to fit women in boxes that they don't go in. You know what I'm saying? So last thing, brothers, your time and your peace, it's a non-negotiable. In a nutshell, brothers, we always talk about the 5% and the 95% women, right? The 95% women are women that men may or may not choose to even entertain, whereas the 5% women are the ones that can at least make it to the door to see what they're talking about, right? But when we're talking about a man that's always on the path of enlightenment, when we're talking about a man that's consistently trying to move mountains in his life, guys, we're talking about a woman that's represented by no more than 1% of the female population. Having said that, we have to understand as men or we're going to have to come to grips with, rather, that 99% of the women that we encounter are just not going to be up to par.